Majaji Ramawela. I'm with the Tourism Business Council of South Africa, and we are the organizers of this conference. We've been doing it for the last 7 years. This is the 8th year that we do this conference. And I want to take this opportunity to thank all of you, our delegates. Some of you have been supporting HICA from the start back in 2007, and you've been at it every year with us, and we thank you for the support that we keep giving this conference. And we also want to thank our partners who have helped to bring this conference together, the Gauteng Tourism Authority, and soon you'll be listening to the chairman of the Gauteng Tourism Authority, who's going to be giving a welcome address. It's a bit of a difficult. Okay, this year in 2014, HICA is coming back to the City of Gold, Johannesburg. We started this conference in Cape Town in 2007 at the Westing Hotel. It used to be called the Arabella Grand Hotel then. It's now called the Westing. This is where the conference started back in 2007. And we've moved it around. It was in Durban for the last 3 years, from 2011, 2012, and 2013. And then this, in 2014, we brought it back to the City of Gold, Johannesburg, which is the business hub for South Africa and Southern Africa. And as I said, we thank the Gauteng Tourism Authority for the partnership, agreeing to work with us to be able to bring this conference here. And we thank Dawn Robertson in absence. I hope she joins us later on. And her team, led by Shamila, who's here. She's outside with her team because they've got a stand and they've got some projects that they want to showcase at HICA this year. We also want to thank our other partners and sponsors who have helped us in different ways. Best Western Hotel Group that is here, the Marriott Protea Hotel that are here, IDC, Starwood have also supported us in this conference. Westgrow, I see colleagues from Western Cape and the City of Cape Town here. The CEO of the City of Cape Town, Enver Dumini, is here. Lovely to have you, Enver. I'm not singling you out. There's a lot of other people I want to acknowledge in the audience, but I'm not going to start. But I thought, how do I acknowledge Enver? He's a friend for a very long time. We got the support from SAA, the national carrier in South Africa, Europcar, and there's many, many other supporters who help us to make sure this conference comes together. But I also want to thank our long-standing partner in delivering HICA, Pam Golding Hospitality. Again, they've been with us since 2007, working hard with us to make sure we bring this conference, trying to involve as many of you in it. And this year we work with HDG Advisors, Africa Events, to be able to deliver this conference as well. So it takes a lot more people to be able to bring this conference together. And I'll be making a big mistake if I don't thank the team at TBCSA. For those of you who know the TBCSA, we're very, very small. We're a team of 7 people, and all of them are here, from Kagiso, who looks after our media, to Tilly, who her full-time job is looking after our finances, but she is a project coordinator for this conference. So you see, the story that finance people cannot do other stuff is not true. So Truly is the one who's really bringing this whole thing together. We get Tumi, who's working with us, making sure that she gets our speakers travel arranged, accommodation. Then we also have our 2 men in our office, because TBC has been an office run by women for a long time. Reynard and Peter, who's been running around and making sure things are happening as well. So thank you to all of you guys for working hard to make sure that in between the work that we do for the TBCSA, from whether we're fighting or working together with the government on immigration issues, we in addition, we work on making sure that we deliver HICA. So thank you to the team at the TBCSA. To you, our delegates, as I said, I welcome you again. And I just thought maybe before we invite Gillian and her team to the stage to talk to us about performance, how have you performed as a sector in Africa as we compare with other sectors in the economy. I thought maybe I'll just give you some highlights of what you can look forward to the conference this year. There have been many changes in terms of the content, beefing it up here and there. Because as you know, we have an advisory panel that works on this conference, and a lot of the work is around the topics. So as we prepare the topics, we deepen the understanding of the issues that needs to come into it. So what you can look forward to this year, we have 2 ministerial sessions. The first session takes part tomorrow, which is focusing on West Africa. We have the Minister of Senegal. I've just had a meeting with them this morning, a whole delegation from Senegal. talking about what they're looking forward to do at HICA this year, and all the other people that he will want to meet with his team. And we also have a delegation out of Angola that are going to talk to us about the exciting work that's happening in Angola. And there's some capital people involved in the capital market from Angola who have joined the deputy minister to come here. And we also, Minister of Tanzania, and of course our very own minister in South Africa is going to join us. That's on Tuesday. So 2 sessions on the ministerial session, West Africa, going to be moderated by Vincent Joyner. He speaks French, which is lovely. So he will get all of us to learn French, yeah? Tomorrow when he does the session as well. And then, of course, on Tuesday, we then look at Southern Africa. That's why South Africa is in that space, in Angola and Tanzania as well. And of course, one of the items we introduced in this year is a session called Developing Future Leaders for the Hotel Industry. It's really about speaking to the students. Are we, as the institution or as a sector, giving the right brief, if you like, to the educational institutions of what it is that they need to be teaching the students. So we got some students that are in that panel, and of course some of the role players in the industry discussing what is it that we need to be doing together to keep those learners and youth interested in our industry as well. And then as part of that the Sunday afternoon session, we have a presentation by Dr. Jim Horan, who's going to talk to us about leadership in peak performance. It's a lot of English, so I don't know what it means. So I'm also going to be sitting here trying to understand from Dr. Jim, what does it mean, leadership in peak performance, yeah? So yeah, some note taking for me in that session. Dr. Jim, I look forward to that session. And then of course, the other session we're doing this year is really getting to listen to the guys who are on the cold face of looking after our guests, the GMs, the general managers, to talk to us about what does it take to satisfy or look after guests, what are the challenges that they're facing, and for all of us to be able to sympathize, if you like, but also to understand the hard business that they face on a regular basis. So that is today, the sessions that we're going to be listening to. And then tomorrow morning, we will also then talk to you about what happens on Monday, and then, of course, what happens on Tuesday with Clem Santa, who is going to be our motivational speaker at lunchtime on Tuesday, who's going to talk to us about 2015 and beyond. What can we look forward a little bit of a glimpse of what happens in the future. It may happen, it may never happen, but it helps to know that somebody is thinking about the future. So, colleagues, on that note, it gives me great pleasure to welcome all of you to this conference and to do this properly in the style of Gauteng people, the people who says everything starts here. I invite the chairperson of the Gauteng Tourism Authority, Mr. Ketlam Tembu.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, it's true, it starts here. If it hasn't, then it has not started. May I take this time to welcome you to the golden province of Gauteng. As you know that this is the cradle of humankind, therefore, please, I'd like to welcome you back home. You all started here. Welcome home to Gauteng. And it gives us pleasure to actually partner with TBCSA to be part and parcel of HICA. The theme of this conference is seizing opportunities. And indeed, Gauteng Tourism Authority seized this opportunity to partner with TBCSA in HICA because we believe that HICA is a strategic platform for further development in our province. We believe that our province holds a privileged position in South Africa, and may I please suggest we hold a very important position in Africa. This position comes with a lot of responsibility, and we're not taking that very, very lightly. We believe that in Gauteng, everybody believes that in Gauteng, this is where dreams are made, and this is where dreams can be achieved. In short, we believe that we are the apex of African development. Before we talk about how we arrived at this position, let us talk about our foundations. Gauteng is working off on a very solid infrastructure. We have world-class transportation. You might have seen a bit of it, coming from ORT to Senton. Some of you pinch yourselves when you were in the Gautrain, you say, but we thought we were in Africa, and yet, you're in the middle of a Gautrain. So we believe that we've got a very interesting infrastructure. We are the home of entertainment and sport. We are the home of hospitality. We are the home of business tourism. And we've got the infrastructure to make sure that we continue from here onwards. We are also a telecommunication and media hub that constantly connects you and is always connected. So when you're in Africa, there's no way when you're in Gauteng, there's no way you can be disconnected. We are the hub. Media, telecommunication, you name it, we are the hub. Gauteng is a very interesting, fascinating blend of know-how, of world-class know-how, combined with African magic. I invite you, please, just expose yourself to where you are. You might miss it. It is the gateway and economic powerhouse of Southern Africa, and we believe that the only way to get into Southern Africa in a meaningful way, besides it being the gateway, is also the economic infrastructure. Come to Gauteng, then you'll be able to look into the rest of this region. We believe that the opportunities are bound, cultural diversity, and all the things that are there are the kind of magic that you'd like to see happening in your businesses as you look for opportunities. Like our skyscrapers, as you know, we've got a very high skyscrapers. Gauteng is aspiring for greater heights. We're not standing still, we're aspiring for those greater heights. Last year only, we had 4 million international visitors who explored Gauteng, and they spent 23.9 billion rand in Gauteng. And this 23.9 billion rand accounts for about 34% of the South African tourism market. That tells you that you are in a region where people found it important to spend. And if you're not going to spend money in Gauteng, we would be surprised. The visitor economy is vibrant, but there's always an opportunity to reach new heights. Future excellence is built on high degrees of visitor service and customer satisfaction. We believe in modernity, a sense of safety, and exceptional tourism experiences. As the province grows into a global city region, the opportunities for tourism development are boundless. The two elements that require us to continue this upward trajectory are places and people. Our next level is a greater public transport connectivity, improved tourism communication, professionalization of the tourism service industry, and visitor safety and support. We're spending a lot of time, money, and really infrastructure development of safety and the feeling of being safe. And all these developments are meaningless without the human element, our people. We believe that our people make us happen. Our people make us this thing to continue being what it is. It's our people. Meeting the needs of our visitors, both international and domestic, through exceptional tourism experiences is the essence of our current strategy. As the Gauteng Tourism Authority, we are in the fortunate position of being responsible for all elements of destination planning, management, and promotion. This, to us, narrows the gap between supply and demand, because we are almost in touch with all the interface that makes this whole machine work. We are responsible for that. We believe that HICA presents a platform to the public and the private sector to maximize business opportunities for mutual benefit. Our team has many opportunities for you to explore, but we are particularly excited about our planned developments at Maruping, at Suikerbosrand, at Gauteng Hotel Schools. All these properties are valuable hospitality assets which will be further developed through a public-private partnership model. I want to encourage you to engage with our team at the conference about your involvement in these proposed developments. As we say in Gauteng, watch this place. We have got bigger and bigger plans ahead of us. And you'll find that in your bags, there's also a booklet on Gauteng. There's many other projects that we are suggesting that you look at and make this conference a valuable conference. HICA is here for us, and HICA is here to develop our industry. With these few words, we'd like to welcome you to this great province of Gauteng. May the show begin. Thank you.
And with that, I'm saying thank you, Mr. Mthembu, for the welcome. So we feel welcomed in the Golden City. Is it welcome to the Golden City or the Golden Province? Or is the city province golden? It's okay. So are we assured to come out with a bit of some gold out of here? Fantastic. We'll hold you to that one. Thank you very much. Thank you for that warm welcome. And at this stage, ladies and gentlemen, I want to just mention something. When you registered this morning, some of you were early this morning with your registration, you were given a little thingy-majig. You know, thingy-majig is something like this, the token, okay? This is not so that it must look fancy on your neck, or as the Africans doing a number on you. This little thing here has got some important information on it. So it's to make it easier for you to exchange and network with your colleagues. So you don't need to give business cards anymore. So you simply, when you see someone, you do what is called kissing. You kiss. You don't have to do the physical kissing, but you kiss using this little thing. And when you do the kissing properly, you know, it turns green. So, but there will be somebody. If it goes red, so you're not kissing properly. So when you're kissing properly, it goes green. You know what green means? It means everything's A-okay. So, but you will be, there will be somebody later on who will be able to tell us how to do it properly. And later on with the networking session, you can certainly put this to good use and get a lot more information about it. So, with these few words, I want to invite Gillian Saunders, she's standing by, to be able to take over for the next session, and which I am so eagerly looking forward to. Gillian?
Thanks, Matsatsi, and good afternoon, everybody. This session, first one on the program, is about Sub-Saharan Africa. So, welcome to Sub-Saharan Africa. All of us here today are sitting in Sub-Saharan Africa, in one of the biggest countries, South Africa, but we've got 49 countries in this region. That's a lot of countries. So, they put my first slide up. I thought we would give you a bit of background on Africa and Sub-Saharan Africa in terms of tourism. This is the UNWTO's projections of tourism for the continent. Unfortunately, they don't split out North and Sub-Saharan Africa. They anticipate that international arrivals will get to 134 billion by 2020, which is quite a few. But Africa's that little brown line trundling along at the bottom, looking very small and sort of like, you know, not very important. So we're the smallest region for international arrivals on the globe. And remember, that includes North Africa, which is a big component of our international arrivals, not just Sub-Saharan Africa. I guess the good news is we do grow slightly faster than the Middle East and slightly faster than Europe. So our growth angle apparently is a bit stronger. And our share, therefore, of international arrivals goes from all of 3% to 7%. So yeah, we're getting a little bit better. We're nearly 7% of global international arrivals. And that growth over the period, over those years to 2030, is about 5.3% per annum, which is not too bad. It starts off a little faster in the first 7 years at about 6% and drops to below 5% in the latter years. So that's what the World Tourism Organization anticipates overall international arrivals on our continent. And remember, 49 countries, lots of those arrivals could be between those 49 countries. And I think that's something we're going to talk about with the panel now. This is outbound tourism by region of origin. Where are those international arrivals coming from? Yay, Europe is the biggest, and Europe is still growing strongly. 832 million of those international arrivals will still be generated by Europe. So wherever you are in the world, and probably in Africa, if you're expecting international guests, hell of a good chance they're coming from Europe. But the strongest growth in outbound is from Asia Pacific, where you see that's up to 641 million arrivals. So pretty strong outbound international growth from Asia Pacific. In fact, very strong growth. Africa So even we in Africa start to say, when is the interregional market, the people traveling between between African countries, going to become important? We're very small still. 90 million arrivals generated by Africa to other countries, and they don't all come to Africa. Lots of them go to Europe or go to the East. So we're very small in terms of generating international traffic on our continent as of yet. And another way to look at it is this, which I think is very interesting. This is the penetration. So if you live in Europe, about 89 out of 100 people will travel internationally every year by 2030. So if you're marketing to the European market, you've got an 89 out of 100% chance of finding somebody who's going to travel internationally. Down in Africa, we're the lowest. Only 6 out of every 100 people in the population will travel internationally. So again, it says that that regional market development of international people traveling on our continent, or African people traveling on our continent, isn't very strong in terms of what the UNWTO is predicting. And if you look, though, everywhere else is pretty pedestrian as well. So while we saw in Asia Pacific, you are going to see far more arrivals generated out of Asia Pacific, still only 12 in 100 people will travel internationally in that continental area. So it's still a tough market to get into, and it's tough to find those people who are going to travel. I then thought I'd have a look at the pipeline, which gives us a bit of an idea of where is the interest in hotel development on the sub-Saharan African continent. So I'm going to first of all say, if anybody spots my deliberate mistake, because I fixed one mistake, but I forgot to fix it on this slide, see if you pick it up later. But anyhow, the key thing to note there, this is how many hotels are planned, signed deals from the branded hotel groups. Courtesy of W Hotels, Trevor Ward, some of you will know he's not here for this conference, so I didn't see him as a speaker, and I'm sure he wouldn't be here as a pure delegate. So thank you, Trevor. He does this research every year, and this is from April 2014. It is, so everybody knows, it's before Marriott took over Protea, before that deal was finalized. West Africa, 87 hotels in the pipeline, 14,000, nearly 15,000 rooms. So that's a huge number. Average hotel size, 171 rooms. Second is East Africa. 5,075 rooms in 33 hotels, slightly smaller hotels. Third is South Africa with 15, but there's a huge difference. South African pipeline, half the size of the East African pipeline. And last is actually Central Africa, and this is where I've actually got a mistake. Central Africa should be 11 hotels in the pipeline, and it's slightly more than 1,112 rooms. What's interesting in Central Africa is small pipeline, but 100% are in construction.